what's up? I'm doing good. How are you? How are you? With a lot of volatility. I can go over quite a lot of things. I wasn't able to stream on Friday, unfortunately. So we can go over Thursday, Friday last week, and the whole weekend until now. What happened? Some interesting things actually happened. After Wednesday, OI built up pretty heavily. Oh, not that heavily, but where do we have it? Here. Yeah, this was FOMC. Bumped up. Open interest went up quite a bit. We had limits pushing down. They pulled them. They swing failed, pushed down and put more limits above the price again. So they were able to push back down more. We went down. OI got flushed here. And then what happened? As market opened, we just straight up dumped very hard, very big volume. And I think this was actually kind of news driven because there was also, as you can see, like we dumped where is it on Friday, and we closed S&P bullish actually. Like S&P went up and Bitcoin dropped. Why was that? There was some FUD about some cold wallets that got drained, and overall that cold wallets are just not as safe as everyone was always thinking they were. So even though they're called cold wallets, they're offline, you can guess ways to get access to them. So yeah, that was the FUD. And on the bottom we had a lot of OI on coming in. Primarily actually longs, especially Binance and OKX. Binance longed this pretty heavily, just as OKX. OKX longed here as well pretty heavily. So if we look at the last few times, when Binance longed so hard, it was actually bullish, as you can see here. Binance long, push up. Especially when it was the bottom. When they longed the bottom, or after a drop, we did go up afterwards. Here, went up. If you look at Bybit, they're closing out longs, and there's a lot of 4.4k in shorts on this move down that opened up. So there's a lot of liquidity. The only thing that's really holding it down, typically, very typical for a bear market, we can't push up because limits are suppressing the price. But once we push through, we're gonna see a lot of volume because there's a lot of shorts open. Let's go over market cipher. How's market cipher looking? It's not bad here, especially the daily. We have money flow coming up, and we have momentum with a trigger wave about to be created. If we pump more here, or we pump tomorrow, this will be a confirmed red dot. It's about to cross, which is very strong with a vector candle here. In general, we had a huge volume down here, so there was a very high likelihood that we would recover that. We did, although we did over the weekend, which was a bit funky, but it's whatever. So we have a lot of vector candles. The 12-hour, I think, yeah, money flow isn't that strong. However, RSIs are gapped and we have a green dot, so if that pulls up, that would mean some strength. Not looking too bad. Same with the 8-hour. 8-hour actually has money flow looking better. 4-hour rather neutral, but we can see that that's just also bear market behavior. We can see the momentum is going down on both sides. So we have less volatility. We're building up liquidity, and then we will see a big move. Probably, I'm not gonna say to which side, but because you never know. You know, there might also be a fake out. You never know, but it's building up liquidity for sure. So 30-minute, a bit oversold. 1 hour with very high VWAP. However, we have money flow coming up. We have this green dot here. Not looking too bad either. We have, yeah, okay. 10-minute money flow coming up. Momentum a little exhausted, but yeah. And structurally, we have also shifted with a low. We have a high, we have a lower low, and then we switch to a higher high. So we made a higher low, barely, but it was a higher low. So, and now we're making higher highs, higher lows. So structurally, we are in a uptrend. Yeah. BlackRock did send some Bitcoin to the Coinbase Prime, but doesn't look like they are really selling as actually pretty decent spot buying here. Wow, I didn't even see how much spot buying there was. If we look, this move is mainly driven by spot actually. A lot of spot buying, yeah. Binance especially, buying pretty heavy. Healthy sign. Hyperliquid, 400 Bitcoin, short position. Rather close, but overall it's rather balanced. With the liquidations. Liquidation heat map, there's a bigger cluster. 62k, the 2-week. Oh, wow. There's big liquidation clusters below. Didn't even see that. We always said there was a spoof order. At 1.2, 1.3k spoof order on the spot market. It was actually not spoof, or not entirely. So this entity moved its order higher, and they actually got filled on Friday. Yeah, very interesting. Overall, we have OI still up. Bybit is shorting and closing out longs actually. Bullish sign, I would say. Spot also continuously buying. You can see, and Perps is trying to sell. Bad structure is actually bullish with some resistance here. Very obvious resistance with those limits. That's not going to be easy to push through. But that's about it. So if you don't have any questions, probably gonna see each other on Wednesday. So that's it for today. Gonna see you on Wednesday.